It's really an honor, bro. And
Thank you.
just coming up as a little younger, because I'm 34. I ain't super young, man. But coming up, man, I always heard about Nature of the Threat and just how prolific you were as an MC. So just to be able to even talk to you is an honor, bro.
I appreciate you. Thanks, man. Thank you. Sincerely.
I know you hear it all the time, but yeah, I appreciate it.
Man, not too often. So I'm appreciative when I get it.
Nah, man, I understand, man. I have a couple questions to ask you, man. I've been looking at all the interviews. You got Matt Hoffa. You've had a bunch of them coming out, and that his full length ain't even released yet. But it's a couple things I think I can ask you that I may not have heard them ask. So, man, I'm gonna try to dig in there and give you some stuff, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me start from the beginning. Ras Kass, how you feeling today, man?
I'm alive, man. So I'm blessed.
Hey, man, you are. Shit, I'm blessed to be able to talk with you, man. You know, it ain't a lot of MCs I feel like I could actually learn from nowadays. So if I could talk to someone who could give me some information, I'm like, yeah, let's do it. You know what I'm saying?
Same here, man. You know, shit, it's still sharp and still. So a lot of times just having a good communication is both sides benefit.
For sure. Man, Raz, you know, you already been regarded as one of the most prolific MCs ever. You know, people use that word legend a lot. People talk about, you know, your career in a number of ways. And I'm hoping that I can get some perspective and get some stuff from you that I don't typically hear in interviews. So I'm gonna start with the beginning, man. You know, I think you coined it this way, saying, you know, Carson raised you, but no, Carson raised you, but Watts made you, I think is how you said it.
Possibly, yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah, I guess that would be. I lived in Carson my entire life, but I didn't socialize. I didn't even go to school in Carson until middle of the 7th grade. So my, you know, kind of my formative years were in Watts. You know, that's where my friends were. That's where I went to school. When I got out of school, that's where, you know, where I played at. Summertime, that's where I stayed at. So yeah, you know, I always claim both, which sometimes I catch shit. There's been certain rappers that try to give me shit, like, you know, you got. I'm like, well, bro, you know, ask Watts dudes, like, it's people that grow with me that know I'm a Watts baby. So, you know, you know, people have to make things mutually exclusive because they categorize things. It has to be this or that. And some things are a little more nuanced. So yeah, I'm a Watts C. Arson dude.
No, I understand, man. Gradient that's a hard thing for people to be able to see. It ain't all just one way. It ain't binary. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
So, man, let me ask you, how did both cities influence you, and in what ways did they influence you?
Good question. Watts, my culture, how I was raised within Watts is very important. My mother, it came from a family that moved in the late 50s to Los Angeles from Louisiana. Their culture was Creole. Thereby, I was raised around a lot of Catholics. Most Blacks are Baptists and this other stuff. Not. I was raised with the Catholic schools within Watts, which informed most Blacks aren't. They go to public school or they go to whatever. So those Blacks, the Blacks who I interacted with in the neighborhood that I grew up in were my friends, but who I socialized with was 50-50. And those who weren't, Creole or Catholic Blacks or, or mothers, or families trying to put their kids in better schools, they had to have money to pay to go to the private school, these Catholic schools. But the majority of those other people were Mexican. So that informed my already socialization with Mexicans. Wasn't a lot of Irish people, wasn't a lot of Italians. This ain't the East Coast. So the West Coast, where I was at, it was a lot of Filipinos. So the Catholics who I dealt with were Mexican and Creoles. And so that cultural already everybody looking at each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck you doing here? What the fuck you doing here? You know, whatever. So Watts had already exposed me to a part of my culture that separated me from my niggas. But then my niggas was who, when I got out of school, I ran with, and looking up the people who I looked up to was the homies in the hood. And one thing about Watts, you know, and you know, and you know, the 80s, for me, it was that I was able to see there was still community. Niggas was gangbanging at all-time high, but people addressed the, you know, I was taught, and everybody, even the older dudes, they called everybody Miss So-and-so and Miss So-and-so. So, you know, niggas was out wilding, you know, and doing whatever they was doing, selling dope, gangbanging. But niggas said, hey, Miss So-and-so, and hi, Miss So-and-so. Y'all get around from around here with that shit. Yes, Miss So-and-so, whatever. So I saw community. And I always say that, like, I didn't realize how much community there was until I really started socializing in Carson, which was, you know, basically 8th grade up until, and it was different, you know. Carson, as bad as my father thought Watts was for me, I hated Carson once I started going to school there.
Mm.
I watched more like I remember I told my father, like, put me back in Watts, like, I'm gonna kill something. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas was just wild, like wild. Like, I remember, you know, like being in the shower and like, first of all, in Catholic school, 7th grade, we didn't have to like go to gym and take our clothes off. So I'm not even used to showering. I'm an only boy. I didn't shower with no niggas around me. So that was weird. And the first day, some dude ran by. He was a Samoan dude. And the nigga was pissing. I didn't realize that he was pissing on niggas' legs until I caught it. Like, who does that? So I remember I was like, man, already like traumatized. Like, bro, get me out of here. Like, I remember I said, these niggas are animals. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even understand. So then I already, you know, like, I'm like, bro, like, I don't want to take no shower around these people. Plus, one nigga then ran around here peeing on feet. Like, this is like, and I'm gonna kill somebody. And eventually almost did, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't like Carson. I didn't like it. I thought they were animals. There's too many of everybody just wilding out. It's public school shit. And I guess to a certain way, I was sheltered the way I was sheltered. I was sheltered on some watch shit. I like that. At least niggas knew how to act. You know what I'm saying? And then this Carson shit was more space, more money, but not necessarily the niggas have. The people were more sophisticated. That's what I learned. I was like, these niggas got more money and they doing dumber shit than the niggas in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like, these niggas just, and it wasn't just niggas. All of a sudden, it was a lot of white niggas and a lot of fucking, you know, Pacific Islanders, Caucasian niggas. Everybody tripping. I'm like, all these niggas are fucking wild. Like, niggas doing way more drugs than I ever seen. So I needed both though. But when I have to be honest, initially, middle 7th grade, 8th grade, I'm like, fuck this place, man. Like, these niggas is savages, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't like Carson. I lived there, but I didn't socialize it. You know, when you're a kid, you know, by the time my parents picked us up from Watts and brought us home, you know, shit, it was probably 7 o'clock. So it wasn't like I was going outside. I didn't know nobody really but the people on my cul-de-sac. And then I played with them on the weekend. Honestly, I thought that I lived in an old folks home.
Mm.
I did. And when you have enough space, then you have enough, like, you know, we had a house and we lived in a neighborhood where there was space. And what happens when you got that kind of space is people don't socialize. They have enough space to be amongst themselves. So you don't fuck with everybody. You stay in your own space. And so I had my bedroom. I did what I did in my bedroom, in my garage, in my backyard. Sometimes I went out to the front and then socialized with those kids. But in general, I had my own world. And those are things I learned about. That's what money gets you. It gets you privacy. You know, you get you space. And sometimes that's not a good thing. Sometimes it's good to deal with people and learn how to interact with others. So I learned pros and cons from both of those experiences for me.
Damn. And that makes a lot of sense because you rap about how introverted you were. And it was probably a result of being around all these people that have sequestered themselves from everything. It's like, I'm not fucking with none of y'all. I'm gonna be in my bubble doing what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Man, Raz, let me ask you, man, in that same vein, you know, you came of age when rap was really progressing. And you've always mentioned how KRS-One was a major influence. You know, who were you listening to at the time? And when did you decide rapping was what you were gonna do?
So I didn't even pay that much attention to rap. It existed since I had awareness. Then I liked things. I can vaguely remember liking something, whatever, but not just as a just like somebody hears anything. Like it's convenient, it's there. I don't take a big interest in it. Like I say I heard rap, but I didn't listen to rap. I was too busy, honestly, because I didn't have any brothers. I was too busy like observing the older dudes. Like, he's cool, the girls like him. I want to be like Dante. I think he's cool. I think that's cool. I want to flip like so-and-so could flip, or, you know what I'm saying, so-and-so be throwing the rocks, like, you know what I'm saying, who could spit the furthest, like dumb kid shit. Once I heard something, I want to give it to, I don't know who it was. Anyway, I tried to write a rap for a clique. I was not even part of the clique, really. I was too young to be part of the clique, but they were the 99 East Side Hustlers. It was like some of the older homies and a lot of taller homies. And they were older, but, maybe I'm 12-ish, or 13-ish, and maybe they're 15, 16. So the niggas ain't kicking it with me like that. But my name was Baby John. They call me Baby John at Watts. They're like in my neighborhood. So obviously they didn't see me as an equal. I was Baby John. I was
he was a little dude.
Yeah, I'm the little kid. Like, get out of here, little Baby John. What are you doing? Whatever. But nonetheless, I wrote the rap. And I always remember it was the 99 East Side Hustler rap. I went home and wrote the rap in my brain. I was going to come back the next day and I was going to be like, I was going to be like the man of the hour. They're going to hoist me on their shoulders like, you made our theme song. You're the best. You killed it. And I went back and I said the rap and it was like, this is trash. And then I remember, I was like, oh, well, and I remember not being hurt. I remember like, oh, well, I'm not good at that. And I've always been kind of good at disassociating myself and being real. Like, okay, I'm not good at that. That's cool. And that was cool. And then I just became, again, a average consumer of, not even consumer, I didn't buy any, but average listener of rap. It was all cool and all. I didn't, pay much attention to no lyrics or nothing. Just the song was cool. I liked it because the beat and the stuff, like an average, uninformed listener. And then I'm sure, Fuck the Police had a very big impact on me for a specific reason. But then KRS-One, and I think it was You Must Learn. It's just, I never heard, and I was already kind of going on my journey reading. I always like to read about dinosaurs, like dinosaurs and sharks and like cats, canines. I've always cared about like history and archaeology and that type of shit and oceanography. I thought I'd be a fucking architect. I'm not archaeologist, in my later years. So still, I'd like to do the steps that I kind of saw in my life. I'm still working towards those goals. Maybe not as actively as I maybe should be. But anyway, once You Must Learn, I was a big KRS-One fan, but You Must Learn, like, really, like, I started, like, it was dope niggas, Rakim, so many. I don't even want to not mention so many, all the dope. Everybody was dope, and I was enjoying it more, but I was still a convenient rap listener. But KRS-One, it resonated, and he started giving these dates, and Harriet Tubman freed the slaves at night. And then I'm like, like, oh shit, like this is different. It just hit different for me. And that's when and that was years later, probably a couple of years later, because I never tried to write another rap. It was cool. I just, I was just having fun. And that's when I was like, I got some things, I'm starting to learn these other things, and I want to rap. I think I want to rap, but I knew my friends didn't like my raps, and so by this point, I'm probably, because when I was 13, I was acting like I was 15. I started school early and got skipped, so I don't know what grade I was in, but basically, by this point, now I'm in probably 8th or 9th grade. And I'm starting to let my friends know kind of rap. But none of, even in Watts and in Carson, they're like, you whack. But I'm like, nah, I'm not whack. Y'all dumb. That's what I figured out. Like, I can't rap for my friends because I hear what they like, and they like dumber rap. And that's what I was figuring out. I was like, oh, I'm not, I was whack at first, but I didn't think I was whack. And by then I was, by 8th grade, Battle Cat had discovered us. I would be soon working with Wino, and I knew I wasn't whack. I just knew they were simple compared to where I was at. I was above average. I always had a big vocabulary, and I was thinking more complicated themes than just bitches, money, stuff. You know what I'm saying? And so I had to, that's when I was like, so I just stopped playing my music or even trying to rap for my friends. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't. I went, and that's how I ended up at, like the Wake Up Show, or, at battles, you know what I'm saying? Battling niggas at other schools and doing other shit. So that's how my journey went.
Damn. So matter of fact, let me ask this, Ras, because that made me skip a little bit. When people listen to you, they always will use words like encyclopedic and shit like that, just talking about your knowledge. And I was reading different things. Some people saying that you studied college. Some people just saying you were an avid reader. How did you get the knowledge base of such varied subjects? Like, were you just self-taught? Was it school? Were you in the academia? Like, how did you get your knowledge base to the level that it got to be?
No, my parents aren't dumb people, man. I mean, I'm not trying to talk down on anybody else's family. My mom is a bit of a scholar. You know what I'm saying? My mother encouraged being scholastic. We had Encyclopedia Britannica in the house since I was born. You know what I mean? So once I asked certain questions, my mother pointed to the encyclopedias downstairs, and that I was already on my path. She could have told me something, gave me because I said so, or gave me a bullshit opinion to the question I asked her, but she just pointed to those books, and that just opened a whole different door for me. Once I was soundly becoming myself and asking questions that I went to church and they couldn't answer, they got upset at me for asking the questions. It forced me to go study elsewhere, and then I stepped in the Nation of Islam, and Judaism, and just and the Moors. You know what I'm saying? And building with the Moors, and getting information, while at the same time simultaneously still reading that encyclopedia, and at the same time already taking college courses. I knew I wasn't going to go to college. I just wanted the books. And then also going to freaking quote unquote African bookstores. You know what I'm saying? They had quite a few, like Lamert. It was always a good place to go find some good books. And what my journey was to not find, I didn't want to hear no black history shit. I just wanted the truth. And what I found was, ironically, within an encyclopedia, within not a history book, not a 0 through 12 book. That's fucking magical bullshit. It's nonsense. But once you went to college, you could start taking courses and they would give you books that started telling you the truth. That was one of the first thing I went to college and took a college course as a teacher wrote that down. He wrote, if I recall correctly, he wrote analytical thinking. And he said, everything you learned in high school was puppetry. This is a white guy, you know what I'm saying? He said, you learned how to, if we write it down, you repeat it, and that makes you smart. It doesn't make you smart. It just makes you trained. He said, you need to learn analytical thinking, which I already was applying analytical thinking from 8th, 9th, 10th. Like I was already doing that, and I was kind of becoming called, rebellious or whatever. He's smart, but he's this. No, I just don't want to be trained because some of this shit don't make sense. So you're trying to train me, and I don't want to be trained in your stupid lies. And and some of the stuff that I'm reading is reinforcing that I'm telling the truth and you're lying to me. And I think innately black kids, that's why they're not dumb. They just don't want to hear a whole bunch of lies that they were slaves and before that, nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Truth, yeah.
Right. So even today, that's what we're going through with DeSantis. They're trying to just delete the truth. They're not. That's it. You're book banning, you're burning books like some fucking the 1200s, my G. You're burning books because it's the truth. You don't want the truth out.
Yep.
And because it reinforces your lie. And then white people, they become victims of their own lie too. And they think that they did a whole bunch of stuff that they didn't create, or religions that they were no part of, you know what I'm saying? Of places that they couldn't exist in, you know what I'm saying? So they rewrite a narrative, and if there's nobody to say that's not true, then we all live a lie. And that's why the slave master is the winner right now. He's stopped us from learning and then rewrote shit and then taught us, just purposely miseducates everybody because it benefits them. And so that's where what I learned in writing Nature of the Threat. I knew it already, but even then, like the black history books weren't black. It was just information that actually coincided literally with the encyclopedia, that literally coincided with the college book. So I was able to put them all together like a fucking crossword puzzle. I was able to put them like, oh yeah, the dates add up, and they're saying it's the same people. Oh, but what he didn't say was that originally these Hebrews were this, or these Egyptians, because the Arabs come at this certain point in time, but this is before then. Oh, the picture in my history book that said this, that was a depiction that they did, in 1930. That wasn't from fucking 800 BC. Why they paint the picture? Oh, to trick me. They took the picture of their version and then say some stuff and then give me the picture of the white guy, but never tell me. So in my brain, I'm thinking this must be the depiction or the picture that, but when the niggas painted themselves, they paint them like black. So it was just, it's trickery. And I guess to answer your question, ultimately, it was all those things. I'm not self-taught. I was, I was led and given direction by, lots of impressive human beings, be they, my professors, in the colleges, the community junior colleges that I went to, that I took those classes with, whether it was from the Moors or the Nation that gave me books and information, whether it was a good, a good rabbi, you know what I'm saying, or the Encyclopedia Britannica. These motherfuckers pretty much they all say the same. The only people that ain't saying the same is like American people, like our school system. They're the ones, like, even like, honestly, I I would bet you that a European book with history book says that Egyptians were Africans and da 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 da. This is the big lie place. This place is double down on the lie.
I'm willing to believe that too, man. And you know what you just said makes sense because you cross-referenced multiple sources, and when it all say the same thing, you know that just lets you know.
Yeah.
And, Raz,
Well, I'll keep that thought. I just wanted to share this last part. And I've told this story before, but it goes to something about the training. One of my favorite teachers, he was probably my favorite teacher. I took multiple courses with him, like World History A and then World History B, or 1 and 2 or whatever, and da 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 da, and all these different history. It was always history related classes or linguistics or whatever. I was studying in so-called the black history books that I would buy on, whatever in a black bookstore, like the ISIS papers and all that type of stuff. But I was studying this one particular thing. I actually reference it in Nature the Thread, the Grimaldi Man.
Yeah, the Grimaldi papers, yeah.
And I remember I went to class and the teacher had he asked a question, and I was already studying about the Grimaldis, and his question had to be, the inhabitants of France or something like that. And I remember I raised my hand, and I was kind of like his teacher's pet. Like I aced his classes. He was a white dude, and but there was a trust because what it was reinforcing, because that was my whole thing. Like, I don't want to just read black people making up shit to make them feel better. I just want the truth. That was my whole point of the journey. And then I was reading about the Grimaldi stuff, and the teacher asked a question. I raised my hand and I gave the answer, and I said, "Oh yeah, the Grimaldi Man." I hadn't even read where what the particular book had to say yet. That chapter or whatever that I was supposed to get into, I read separately. And so I answered it, and he was like, "Wrong, shut me down." And I was like, "Oh shit, okay, then maybe this black man book is wrong." And had me second guessing myself. I'm like, "Oh shit, okay." I thought I thought I had cross-referenced that well, but maybe I could be wrong. And I had trust in this, I developed the trust in him that he wasn't leading me astray. And so I for the rest of the class, and that was kind of early on in the class, and I was just super quiet. And again, I had a lot of self-doubt about, am I getting the right information? I don't want to just hear the black man feel good shit. I just want the truth. And this guy's not ever let me down on that, and he shut me down pretty astutely in the class. And I remember, class usually about 45 minutes or whatever it is, an hour. And at the end, class is over. We get up, I'm grabbing my backpack, and said I'm about to be out. And he stopped me. "Austin, hold on." And he waited till everybody left out the class, including his TA, And then he said, "You're not supposed to know that yet." And
Damn.
you have no idea how much that broke my heart, but how much it reinforced that I knew this shit was rigged.
It's supremacy, bro.
Right. He was still trying to train me. You understand what I'm saying? And I remember it was fundamental for me. Like, it became like even all that revealing some truth, there was still a catch. You know what I mean? And I can only get so far. Even in my career, there's a catch. I did some things that limited my career, and I understand that the system is made by them for them. And so if you don't play, they're gonna turn the water off, man. I always try to tell, well, let me just finish this story. I took my back, I said, okay. I looked him in the eye, I said, okay. And then I threw my backpack on, I walked out the door, and I never came back. Because why would I? What was the point? You purposely embarrassed me in front of the class, knowing I was telling the truth. That's kind of the devil. That's the evil thing to do. Not say that's above what we're talking about right now. It's accurate, but I'm here trying to tell you about when the white people count. That's what you're trying to say, nigga. No, we came and we civilized you, nigga. And that's the fucking truth. And you knew it was the truth. And you still trying to push your white supremacy agenda. So I got to pay for a couple more semesters? Then you'll tell me once you've strained out the rebels again. So you trying to, I'm rebellious, so you're going to break me and train me? Fuck you. Fuck this system. And so I always tell people, most of these heroes that y'all got and celebs or whatever, they do a big straining to get to allow those to win. You know what I mean? So most of your heroes is really your enemy. They are not here with your best interests at heart.
Yeah, they still your hero. They been gave up, and if you forgot about them, they died for you. So it's one of those.
Or we overlook the ones that's out here really fighting for us. And I saw a dude saying that, man, the universe is so fucked up, man. I seen a dude on the gram. I hope I find it again, man. He was tearing up and he was talking about this particular thing, the heroes. And he was talking about, your heroes are, going to educate and out, even doing way more than me, like real, grassroots, talking and helping children and opening, and you fuck them over, and then you praise these magnificent fools. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it touched me so much. I just wanted to repost it. I couldn't find, like, I tried to copy it off the gram, man, because you could tell, like, he wasn't boo-hooing, but you could see the pain, and what he was saying was so dead on, and it was just something like I kind of wanted to like watch it once a week, like to just motivate me to do more and do better. Our self-preservation, just trying to survive here, is so hard. It's hard to stand and fight, because those that do know if you fight, they're gonna make it rough. And I know I am going through that, but there's other people that even do more fighting, at a grassroots level. So I respect them, and it touched me so much. I just wanted to be able to even track that brother down and just, extend a hand or something. I just could tell he meant what he said, man. We don't love our heroes. We love we love like our booby traps.
That's a word.
Sad.
It is sad, because this year's the 50th anniversary of hip hop. And I just kept telling people, I was like, bro, this is the shittiest thank you to motherfuckers who really put on for the culture. And the people who really said what needed to be said don't have Sprite commercials.
Right.
They're not getting endorsements. They're not getting commemorative pieces done about them. They're not getting interviewed. And the only people that's doing it are indie media. And the bigs is not fucking with it because it's not a rap gossip story. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't trying to deviate off script, but like that's really the problem, man. Like, you were doing this shit before anybody knew really that people were doing this and saying this type of shit on records to your own detriment. And it's like, yo, all right, 50th anniversary. Niggas want to talk about the same thing. Like, dog, niggas ain't here to talk about the same story 30 times, bro. Damn, like, while we here, let's ask them the real shit about the fights that you really had to, you know what I'm saying? My bad, it's your interview though, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, you speaking on it, brother. I mean, It's bittersweet, man. I don't know how to say it. I'm trying to write these things and finish a project, and I don't know how to, like, I don't even know how to say, and it ain't just me. It's just like like I'm trying to write this song, and I don't know what it's called. I think it's we we should know better. I think that's the name of it. Like, or when will we do better? When will we know better? Like by now, like what the fuck, bro? Like and I feel like one of the homies is just like, it's over. You know what I'm saying? He's like, man, this shit, we lost. And I was like, I can't, I can't take a defeat as, like, did our people lose the war? Are we doomed? Is this it? Like the monkey show, like we're fucked. Like I can't believe that. And this is a brother of mine, and he's just like, man, look at it. And I'm like, I can't read that writing on the wall, but it does sometimes feel like pointless. Like, where are we going? Like, this is not, we hate our heroes. Like, I mean, we keep letting our devil pick our heroes. I don't get it, man. I don't get my people. They don't make sense to me. I just I literally wrote this yesterday, and I was just I'm writing this verse. And the little part that I said, and it's not even like a political record. But I said, losers block shots, gangsters shoot blocks. I always hope to resonate with my people like Tupac, but I'm too Black Thought.
That's it in a nutshell, man. Like, and they miss the finer points of Tupac. They get caught up. They got caught up in the last half of his life, missed the whole revolutionary part.
Right.
They stripped that away from his identity.
Mm-hmm.
Black and lyrical rap is looked at as not commercially viable. Our people don't want to stretch for it. People in other cultures do stretch for it, and they co-opt it, and then we get mad. And it's just a devious game, man. This shit is a devious game, bro. Man,
Mm-hmm.
Man, I gotta ask you, Raz. A lot is said about, when you got your hip hop quotable for Remain Anonymous, but I haven't heard anybody ask you about this, man. Like, I'm looking up your name and I see Patchwork Studios. I'm like, I'm from Atlanta. What's the correlation?
You didn't know that?
Oh, bro, I didn't. So could you peel that back for me, man?
Okay. So I'm gonna try to make this really summarized, quick version. So Bob Whitfield played for the Atlanta Falcons. The owner of Patchworks now is Curtis Daniel. We all we all came from a city called Carson, but one of the neighborhoods in Carson that we lived in is called The Patch. That's why it's called Patchwork. The Patch is not in Atlanta. The Patch is in Carson. So it's brothers from The Patch doing work. Very simple.
Oh, damn.
Brothers from The Patch working together. If I quote Bob, if I quote him verbatim, I believe it was brothers from we gonna be brothers from The Patch doing work. That's Bob's quote. Now I'll just give you a little more, juice to that, just a little more information to that. I go to jail, I'm fucking up. Well, before that, I'm working on my music. I told you nobody liked my raps, so that's cool. I don't play my music for my homeboys because they're dumb. But one of my friends is a rap snob. The way he listens to rap is how I listen to it. He about the bars, like, I don't like that shit, man. Beat type, but that shit, I don't know. That nigga rap, man. That's a half-ass rap. So I'm like, this nigga's a critic. His name is Curtis Daniel. So Kurt is a fucking critic. And we would all be playing dominoes. Either, Bob might come back from college, whatever, be, from 5 to 10 of us, you know what I'm saying? Playing dominoes, we gambling, we drinking. Niggas smoke weed. Nigga that lose got to put away the table. We make big jokes, whatever. So, and it's always music playing in the background. And somewhere around 11th grade for me, maybe, we playing our dominoes. And I have about five, I got like a 5-song demo from Battle Cat and Wino and Domino Theory, whatever. All the brothers that helped me make my demo. And I lie and I put in the tape. And I'm like, I just put it in after whatever was playing, EPMD or whatever was playing, I put in my tape. Because I really want to see what Kurt thinks. I don't tell nobody it's me. I just play the tape. So we still playing dominoes and the music come on. Then the first song go, and niggas say, you know, like while we all playing and shit, and Kurt like, that nigga hard. Who's that? I say, some nigga from New York, bro. I don't know. The homies gave me a tape and shit. I don't know, my nigga. I just was gonna check it out. So playing dominoes, one song. Then the second song come on. God damn, that nigga said some shit. You know what this nigga said? Rewind that back. Rewind that back. You know what I'm saying? By third song, that nigga say, God damn it, whoever the fuck this is, nigga, this is the hardest rapper I ever heard, nigga. On everything, this nigga the hardest nigga. And I laughed. And Kurt wanted to, because he called people bitches. Bitch, like in general, that's fighting words. Like, you know what I'm saying? But that's just how Kurt always talked. He like, so he like, whoever I'm like, it's me. You know what I'm saying? All the homies like, man, this nigga hard, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's me, my nigga. I'm like bitch, you lying. I'm saying that, I start laughing like, nigga, listen to the voice now. Keep listening. He like, God damn it. The nigga almost shed a tear. He said, man, my fucking friend all this time, I didn't know my friend was the best rapper ever. So Kurt's been he's my first fan. He's my first, you know, that's my brother. You know what I mean? And so Kurt, from there, then I went to jail. When I got out, Bob playing for the Falcons, all that. Kurt hit me and was like, Bob got all this money and he's been like, you know, I was on my, you know, I was still doing my stuff independently. And then Kurt suggested that, you know, I guess Bob had, you know, invested in other homeboys in the neighborhood or whatever. And, you know, none of that shit worked. He's like, should invest in you. And then he called Bob and then we all got on the phone. And then that's how that story started. So, you know, Kurt is the foundation of it in Patchworks. Technically is you know, it's the baby that was created by my talent, Kurt's vision, and Bob's money.
Man, these are the type of stories I'd be fucking wanting to hear. God damn. Thank you, bro. Mm-hmm. Man, all right, I gotta ask you some heavy hitters now. So look, I'm looking online. I'm like, okay, I love Soul on Ice, Eldridge Cleveland. No matter how controversial it is, I love it. I said, 1968. Okay, shit, that was 55 years ago. All right, your album came out 27 years ago. So now I have to ask you, man, like, what are your thoughts on Eldridge Cleaver's Soul on Ice? And then once you tell me about that, what are your thoughts on your album, Soul on Ice?
Well, I still feel the same way about Soul on Ice. Soul on Ice is not a linear book. It was just takes on him picking moments in his life, whether he was proud of them, whether he was ashamed of them, whether he did right, whether he did wrong. And I felt that honesty.
Yeah.
And so to me, that's what's resonated. I was in that first time in jail in juvenile hall when I got that book. My mother gave me Soul on Ice, amongst other books, and that's the one that resonated with me. And I knew if I ever had a chance to make an album, it would be called Soul on Ice, because that book resonated with me. He raped a white lady. I say wrong action for the right motive. So now I'll give on the Soul on Ice song, I say, on the original version, I say wrong action for the right motive. In Limbo I Lamp, rape the lady, kill the tramp. I'm referencing him when he talking about raping the white lady.
Oh, damn. Okay, okay.
And limbo I laugh, rape the lady, kill the tramp, the wrong action for the right motive. So now give me 50,000 black angry role models. Take me to DC. I throw the first fucking bottle. So me looking at myself, applying his, Solo Nights is that. There's happy shit, there's marinate, some hood shit, like just come by the house, we drink, there's drama, getting pussy, it's realism, it's me dealing with all my facets, my good, the bad, and the ugly of myself. And they're just little snippets, they're not linear. So I took his book and applied it to myself and wrote it the same way. I think the book holds up. I think it's fiercely honest. Um, at a time in the world where people aren't honest. Everybody's like this one version. I'm the hustler. I'm the gangster. I'm the positive dude. I'm the lover. I'm, whatever. Everybody picks this one marketing strategy and or categorizes themselves to be easily digestible, whereas no human is that simple, and I always thought that my honesty would be a strength. It wasn't. It just made me hard to market. With that being said, I don't regret it, but I do. I've said this recently. I gave my listeners and my people more credit than I should have, and that's a shame. That when I stopped playing my music for my friends, I understood that they were, and I hate to say it this way, but they were not as deep thinkers as I was. And unfortunately, my people collectively listening are not deep thinkers. They're very surface and they just want to hear it's good today and who gives a fuck about yesterday or tomorrow. And I just want to act like I'm rich today because then I'll just feel good today. Instant gratification listening is what, they just want to be fucking happy. And I get it. We are born traumatized, but the only way to fully correct that is to address the issues that are traumatizing us. So we don't like to. And I can't force them to. And I went out on a limb to do that amongst other people. And it didn't work well for me. And, that hurts. It does hurt. I think they'll discover me later and I'll be dead. So I won't give a fuck. I won't necessarily benefit from it, but I'll do my part. I've already decided I have to do my part. I have to be who I am. But it is disappointing. I wanted my people to resonate with me. I didn't get any help from the labels. The labels didn't do me no favors. And I'm not gonna lie. A lot of the artists they didn't like me. They're threatened by me. So I shouldn't. I thought there was more of a brotherhood in this rap community. It's really not. And there are some there's exclusions to every rule. But producers differently. Producers because they kind of just hear talent and like, yo, I want to make a beat around this talent thing. So I tend to do better with, the producers have always, shown me a lot of love. Like, and then those MCs that say, bro, man, what God, and that's what I always say to people, like, man, what God gave me or God gave you or your talent, like, I don't feel threatened by that. I like to work. I want to be a part of it and help it shine too. I've always been that kind of person, not like I'm threatened by your success. I like to help people win because at least the winos and the battle cats and the people that helped me. I mean, I couldn't have got here without that help. So I've always thought there was enough space for everybody and we should all help each other. Other people look at it like, well, I got to protect my brand and a lot of white man shit that's corny, but I guess it does make for good business, but it's just bad. It's fucked up for the culture and for helping good people. With that being said, yeah, I how I feel about Solo Nights. The saddest part is I did Solo Nights 2, and which I think is
Amazing.
It's amazing. Soul on Ice 2 is amazing and slept on. It's amazing. I think the first fucking 10 songs are flawless. And really all I realized about writing Soul on Ice 2, and not because I really wanted to, I wasn't even trying to write Soul on Ice 2. I just realized I was making Soul on Ice 2. Even at some point I was like, oh, this is not the other thing I was trying to make. This is Soul on Ice 2. But Soul on Ice is truer, unfortunately, and that's why I think I say that in Soul on Ice too. Like Soul on Ice is truer today than it was then.
Yeah, it's eerie, man. You know, one of your lyrics, you was like, make a radio hit, the heads criticize it, underground classic, nobody buys it. I'm like, damn, you predicted the shit now more than 96, because niggas would have bought it in 96 and they would have praised it. Now it's so political, it's so driven by whatever niggas is programmed to think. Like you flipped the shit, honestly, I thought. And you know, I was gonna ask you this later, but I think it's a point, and I don't think people drive it home. I look at your career and I look at Lupe, and I see a lot of parallels, man. Like the label bullshit y'all had to go through for the that y'all made, how y'all had to deal with the effects of bootlegging, how you had to deal with the effects of like that, just the downtime when your album's being stalled. And I was just gonna ask you, do you see any parallels? And if so, man, what do you think?
Oh no, I see a lot, and Mickey is a brother of mine, and I know how tight him and Lupe are. I don't know Lupe at all. Like, I don't even think I've ever met Lupe. I've seen him perform a couple of times. Like, just a really ill, talented dude, man. And those, so many people that beside myself that I just root for, I'm just like, yo, man, like bro should, and like, I'm like, fucking at this point, I'm really like, man, I just want to make power moves. I don't care if I sell, if I got to get the bag, make my first, million liquid selling toilet paper or whatever that thing is, I'd still like invest in some of these amazing artists and want to work with people, because I just think they should be heard better, man. It's just dope. We be fucking over the dope people. I mean, there's some dope people getting it. You know what I'm saying? It's Nas and Wu-Tang Clan and whatever. And Black Thought finally getting, he never had because his band was so incredible, he always was going to be okay. He was just overlooked with how incredible he can rhyme because he had such a strong band. So then taking the band away was able to showcase, no, this thing is incredible. So that's great for him. I never worried about, we would always be like, fuck out of here. Thoughts when, 5-10 years ago, I'm like, niggas late. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all niggas super late. It's like groupie groupthink. Like all of a sudden, niggas like, he's so nice. Nah, you been nice, dummy. We know the nigga nice. You kidding me? But it's so, there's, what about the unsung others? For every J. Cole and Kendrick, there's an Absol and, so and so. You know what I mean? It's just, there's a lot of other nice people with, sometimes I hear a song, and from whoever it is. And I'm just like, wow, that deserves. I just posted Bishop Lamont's record. I just think what he said, how he said it, the production, the video, and I always try to, whether I know the person or not, if I think that shit fire, I just want to. And I wish I had a bigger platform where I could say, because I don't feel like it takes away from me to say like, yo, man, this is dope. And that's what I put on this shit with Bishop shit. I just was like, support intelligent rap. You know what I'm saying? And at Bishop Lamont, like, please, I think, maybe I got 3,000 people likes on it. I mean, I don't know if that's the same 3,000 that he got, you know what I'm saying? Or however many, but if I can share something that's awesome, and just think Look, bro, I said this to Corrupt in them. I said, if if once a week the community picked a deserving artist and showcased that person, they'd have a shot.
Mm.
Let's say we picked Lupe and he got this incredible record, and for that week, as a community, Pete Rock and Nas and Wu-Tang and everybody say, yo, I'm gonna post bro shit. We're gonna post them on Wednesday and let the world know this is dope. We're strength in numbers, man. I always, we could control our industry if we fucking were collective. But we're all individuals. I said that from the beginning. That our biggest. Are you there? Sorry about that.
Good, bro.
Everybody has a union except for us.
Oh, man.
Everybody.
That's a whole circle.
Writers, musicians, fucking opera singers, everybody, except for these niggas. Out for, every man for himself niggery. Don't realize you're gonna get picked off one by one, and they're gonna show you a couple of niggas that got it and tell you you can do it too, when the odds of that are hitting the lottery 4 times. You won't be able to. And and I'm not saying everybody does, but are you going to get on the casting couch and bend over and suck some cocks and do this and betray who you are and sell your soul? And I don't know. I'm not saying niggas really drink baby blood, but if they did, would you do it? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like we just haven't haven't understood that there's strength in numbers. I don't understand why. I mean, Koreans show us that, Mexicans show us that, and so everybody shows us that, and we keep going for dolo. My analogy to my friends is literally this: if I go to the club by myself, I look thirsty. If I go with you, I got a wingman. But if 5 of us go to the club, we are the party.
Girl, that is insightful. And that's really it right there. And that's culture, though. Culture is dictated by people moving in a direction. Bambaataa and them was a movement. Stop the violence, the movement. Like, you had movements back in the day when you were doing what you were doing. Man, yes. Raz, let me ask you this, man, because I know people, they talk about your premier tracks. Like, and when I say premier, I meant like I ain't talking about primo, but I'm talking about like the track, Interview with a Vampire, How to Kill God. My question is, and I guess this would be my best question now, is spiritually, what do you identify with and what's grounded you throughout your journey, considering how tumultuous it's been? Because people just on you attacking the fallacies of religious thought. So how would you define yourself spiritually? What grounds you and how you got through this part?
Good question. I don't believe in organized religion in any form for myself. With that being said, if joining the Israelites gets you in a better place, joining, whatever it is, I honestly, if you spiritually need that, for your own edification and healing, then I am a big supporter of that. Just like some people need AA and some people don't. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's an individual and we're all unique. For myself, there are things I want to study more and build more with. The Moors, I love, and I don't build as much with them. I build with them. I do, I rock their, clothing. I speak with, but I really did love building with the Moors. I love to build with more Hebrews, I don't like the term Falasha, but I'd love to go to Ethiopia and build with those Hebrews that practice Judaism. I believe in a creator. I believe in God, for lack of a better name. I believe I want to say it this way. I don't know how involved my God is with my day to day. I don't. I'm not sure that's necessarily what God's supposed to do anyway. I think about a football team and both niggas pray to God. One team is more religious if they win. They both thank God when they win. But I mean, really? God gives a fuck about your football game?
That's real.
I mean, it's petty God. That's petty. That's fucked up. Because we're humans, and some of this we just got to do, right? You don't fucking pray to get the pussy. I mean, I probably have. I'm an idiot. I'm probably like, I really want to fuck her. Come on, man. Let me get this pussy, man. This bitch bad. But I mean, just also, so it's like, I believe God has an overall design, but we still have free will. So where is it written that he's got to help us in everything? So some of this we got to do. We are being the image and likeness. We are little gods. So maybe that's my God job, is to be the God that I am. And I can't be expecting the big dude to do every fucking thing. I don't believe in separating God in the compartments, in the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. That was one of the hardest things I ever did, was have to not do the Jesus thing, that Jesus is God and a part of he's the kid, but then there's a ghost and then there's the other nigga. And I know that for Black people, that's hard to peel that onion off. But I've come to investigate and learn, if it's one, it's just one. One is not three. One is one. That's numbers. It gave me a basic fucking idea. One's not three. So I'm not going to do the three thing. Just going to do one. Now, prophets and, good holy men and all that. And then the Bible's an unreliable source of anything. So I can't, and I can't live my life in fear of if I'm wrong. Odds are we're all wrong.
Yeah, real talk.
So I try to do, what they say, the old books basically say, is try to walk with love in your heart and try to do unto others as you would want them to do to you. So I try to treat people with love and respect, because that's what I want, is love and respect. It's that simplistic. I asked the creator, to help me on this journey. This shit is hard many times. But no, I would say, it's no harder than the average first world problems, but it's still hard. It's my journey. You know what I'm saying? I know that there are people dealing with way more worse shit down the street. I can go somewhere, I can go downtown and see niggas afflicted with, not only poverty, with addiction, and you know what I'm saying, and not being able to just have running water. So I know I don't have it as bad. But for me, it's hard on me. This is my shit. And so I have compassion for everybody else's plight and still understand that mine is hard on me. Yeah, man. And that's really that's the gist of where I am as a person with the creator. I call the creator bro. I call the creator. I mean, I call him nigga because we was made first, so he's obviously a nigga.
Thanks.
So I'll be like, my nigga, you know what I'm saying? Like, this shit hard. You know what I mean? Like, and my nigga like help these niggas. Like, help us, bro. Niggas been, especially the Christians in America and Africa, they've been praying to Jesus for a long time, man, and I ain't really seen no progress. So something's just gotta change. There's gotta be some kind of like that shit ain't working. So, like, yo, niggas, if the Christianity was the way, when the fuck is that gonna make a fucking dent? Because it sure hasn't yet. I don't knock people for being where they are again. I basically, I related to us. We're all trying to find peace of mind and peace, right? And so I kind of liken it to we're all climbing this mountain. We don't even know what the top looks like because it's like fucking, it's above the clouds, so we don't know, but we're climbing it. Sometimes we get to a place, right? And maybe we're all at, we're at 300 feet. But you got to remember that, it's a three-dimensional thing. It's this mountain, and it's, round, basically multiple-sided. You know what I'm saying? And so we start yelling at each other because our vantage point is not the same. So I get mad at you because you like, yo, I'm at 300 feet. And I'm like, you're not at 300 feet. I'm at 300 feet. You like, I am at 300 feet. You don't see it. Look, it's a billy goat running down. I'm like, you lying because there ain't no billy goat. But I'm on the other side of the mountain. And it's okay to be. So, if you are Jehovah's Witness, or you agnostic, or you atheist, or you Muslim, or you Christian, so 10 different kinds of Muslims. There's 100 different kinds of Christians. You know what I'm saying? Whether you Catholic, whether you Baptist, whether you Lutheran, whatever. Look, if you still just trying to climb the mountain, who am I to judge you?
That's real. Raz, let me ask you, man. I was over there looking at your YouTube. Said, damn, my man likes Game of Thrones. Hey, man, rap is Westeros. Who are the characters in rap, if you could compare them to the characters of Game of Thrones? Who's Jon Snow? Who's Ned Starks?
First of all, I'm Jon, so I'm Jon Snow. I'm Jon Flo, bro. Yeah, I'm Jon Snow. I'm the one that I'm really the king that they keep trying to wipe under the tree like scumbag, but I'm really the golden child.
Do this concept, bro. Appreciate it. Please do that, man. Do a concept album of they'll probably sue you. Never mind, don't do that shit.
Game of phones, microphones, Game of phones.
So
I like that.
Okay, so you Jon Snow, the real king of the North. Who are the rest of the characters then if you had to do that?
Oh man, I'd have to really sit there because calling somebody Cersei, you know what I'm saying? Like, I might piss off some people, but I'd figure it out. I'd have to sit there and figure out who my Sansa was, and what's his name was the nigga that cut off old boy dick. He had the sausage.
Oh man! Damn! Man, cut my man. Cut the sons.
What do you call him? Scream. He made him change his name. Your name is Scream or something. What? Oh man.
Reek. Loyal Reek.
Yeah, Reek. He called him Reek after that. Yeah. So somebody got the dick cut. Oh man. Yeah. I'd have to do some recon on that. That like I always do educated. I know who I am.
That's real. No, that's perfect, man. I'm gonna just throw that out. Man, Raz, I gotta ask you, man, as intelligent as you are, man, you've unfortunately had to see, the system of corrections. Man, yeah. What did your time in there leave you with? For good. I'll say for good.
Oh yeah, no. Well, first of all, if you don't have any life aspirations, I suggest you go to jail. It's, depending on what level. I was never in like a level 4 fucking completely, locked down 24 hours. When you go through processing, they lock you down for maybe for like a week where you're just stuck in a cell, maybe 2 weeks or whatever, until they figure out like, and I was locked in with somebody that had way more time, and like there's different levels. So there's level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. Level 4 is maximum security, the shit they show you on TV. I never went to a level 4. Did a level 3 and then ended up at level 2. And then minimal security, like they have ranches, you can be a fireman, they got all kind of different, so it's different levels. But in general, what I tell people is if you don't have any aspirations, they're going to clothe you, give you minimal food. You don't have to worry about like keep constantly changing your clothes. You get one, if you got a little couple of dollars, you can get you a pair of Nikes. You know what I'm saying? And you get a watch, and you won't have a high overhead in your life. You just, if you can luck up and get somebody that loves you, then you can have sex once a weekend.
Hey, yo, man.
No, I'm not talking about no nigga. I'm talking about a female. So you can get married, but that's gonna be once a month.
Conjugal, some shit. Okay.
You get your conjugal. That's gonna be, like I said, once a month. So you get a weekend. You'll get your Friday and Saturday, and that's if you have no life aspirations. If you have anything that you want to do out here, then don't. It's just not worth it. Because when you're not progressing, the world is, and that means you're actually going backwards. And that's what I learned. It taught me that I want to do some things, and I can't do it from here. When you got a great thought, or you need to make a call, like, yo, I need to handle this shit immediately, but the phone is over there, and you're locked in here. And you have to wait until, and then did you fill out the phone list, or you can't make a phone call? Like, oh shit, it's already booked. Everybody signed up already. You can't make a call. Like, yeah, you're fucked. Like I said, if you don't want to do nothing, you got some degree of medical. If you have a tooth, they're gonna pull the tooth. They're never gonna like drill. So you get a whole bunch of dentures. You end up with a mouthful of dentures. It's your call. I don't want that kind of life, and I don't suggest it for anybody, but I'm just saying, if that's what you wanted to do, is nothing at all. There's only 2 ways to do nothing at all and be somewhat comfortable: be born wealthy or go to jail. Those are the 2 ways to basically not do shit with your life, and not just be homeless.
I get you.
So, yeah, for me, that was my biggest takeaway, is that I wanted to do stuff, and it was close to impossible to do things in a timely manner there. Plus, I love women, and I don't like not getting no pussy, so that sucked.
Facts.
I hated, and I wasn't, and I didn't marry anybody, so I was getting visits and getting my kisses and all that, but I'm like, dude, I want a woman, nigga. I want to like, and even man, you don't understand because literally prison is sensory deprivation. So that's basically what it is. I always tell people, if you want to know what prison is like, just go to your bathroom, crack the door open, turn on the TV where you can kind of see it, and sitting there all day. Start at 6 a.m. Eat some eat your breakfast, then go sit in your bathroom, and then be trying to look at your TV from there. Because they'll leave the TV on and you just keep looking. And then, around noon, come out for like an hour, use the phone for 15 minutes, and then go back in your bathroom and then sit in there for another 10 hours. And that's jail.
Oh, hell no. Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, it's just that. So yeah, the sensory deprivation is what drives people crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's just, and think about it when you're playing, if you're even socializing with people, the most you're doing is, my nigga, you know what I'm saying? But, you got a lot of alpha males. You don't get to like cry and hug. Like you ain't got nobody to hug you. So you're just kind of like, like, so when you get that visit with that girl, you're like, or your mom, like, wow, I could like put my head on somebody's shoulder. Like, fuck, okay. Wow, like human contact is fucking, it's the necessity for us, we're born with mammals. So that shit, that's what I like. Just seeing a friend and being able to, I want to do what up, and or seeing this girl and like kissing a woman, like fuck, like you're so soft. This is fucking insane. Like how amazing this is. Because when you don't have it, you take it for granted. I mean, when you have it, you take it for granted. But when you don't have that and you touch a woman's ass, that shit's crazy. God damn, that shit's like amazing, bro. And so I'll tell you one of my razzisms. I'm an idiot because I'm an idiot. I decided that I was sick of getting kisses, and the pants in prisons are not. They're like McDonald's pants. They're not really pockets.
Yeah.
They just look like pockets. So I decided that I'm getting a hand job. Fuck that. And so I took the razor and I cut the pocket and cut it open because there's nothing there. And I didn't wear boxers. I'm like, and so when one of my lady friends came to visit me, I sat to her left and she was sitting here. And then I was like, lick your hand. And she's like, what? I said, lick your fucking hand. Lick your left hand. Lick your left hand. And she licked her left hand. And then I said, put it in my pocket. And you put it in my pocket. And then, bingo, bango, man, it was and so the ironic part is that somehow that shit spread. And like, I was in dorm living at this point. And so, let's just say there's 200 people. So let's just say 75 black, 75 white, 75 niggas, whatever. And somehow the shit spread to everybody. I don't know how, but somebody ended up telling about like, because my homie's like, you gonna get busted, bro. Like they say, like you gonna get booked, nigga. You gonna get in trouble. You gonna catch some more time. You tripping, nigga. You gonna fuck your visits off, whatever. I'm like, bro, fuck that. I need a woman to touch me. That's where I'm at right now. Like the jerk offs in the shower when nobody's around. I'm done with that. I need a woman to touch me. And I went and did it. And it's hilarious. I remember coming back in and walking through the front door and like somebody looking at like, but everybody was kind of like, there's a community even in prison, man, which is crazy. Because I just remember like somebody kind of did the look and I did like a touchdown. And I genuinely 200 motherfuckers said, yeah. And I was just like, yo, thank you. And I went upstairs, I smoked a cigarette, and I slept for 2 days like I had the most exhausting sex ever. It was amazing. And it was awesome. And that's like my fond memories of being locked up. Like, it shouldn't have to be that, but we made lemonade out of lemons, man. Like that was like one of my fondest memories. Like I did some stupid shit because that's me. I had to go for it. I went for it. I succeeded. And then everybody was like geeks for me. Like, yeah. I was like, fuck that. And then I went and smoked. How was it, bro? Whatever. And it was amazing. And I smoked a cigarette and I was like, Austin Powers. And I'm spent. Yeah. This was crazy.
Holy shit.
Real talk, bro.
Damn.
Real talk. I really did that shit.
Man, Raz, it's a lot of fucking stuff I had planned to ask. And you got into a lot of it. Man, I gotta ask you, man, your sons, bro. Your sons are basically a part of like one of the major West Coast groups. And I ain't just gonna say but groups that's taking over the rap game, man. How do you feel as a dad about that, and what are your hopes for them?
Man, I love them. Period. I love all those guys, man. They're just good. They're good people. I know how much they love this culture. I watch them do their homework and take it seriously. Um, and I'm very grateful that the community gave them a chance. And so, that's, I think, a fair shot. Like, it's almost like the shot I never really got. And so, um, I always say I'm grateful. I don't believe in pride because pride can be blind, like white pride, you know what I'm saying? And fucking, a pedophile could be proud, I don't believe in pride. I believe in respect. And so I'm just really grateful to the culture for giving them a shot. And I'm very, I look at them as like them taking their opportunity seriously and learning to trying to say this the right way. I'll say it this way. I needed them to take advice from experts. And because of my journey, their mother's journey, my sister is my little sister, their auntie graduated Berkeley Law, top 5 law school in America for entertainment law. My whole thing was their other auntie, their mother's sister, has managed their mother for 20 plus years. My whole thing with them was like, you don't have the excuse of fucking up. This ain't a game where you want to make a lot of mistakes. And so I need you to not have your ego. I want you to feel free. You have a plethora, a wealth of informed people. I didn't have that. I couldn't ask my parents. They didn't know shit about no music industry. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I'm grateful to them for is, they had their shit together. They understood their merch. They understood um, uh, uh, rehearsals and putting on a show, things that I'm sure they observed with their mother, choreography. It ain't corny. These niggas could put on a show. The niggas is nasty. They do their research on their bar work. They study the greats, developing their own style. So I love them creatively, and I love watching them learn the wisdom to ask questions because they have a wealth of their mother and their aunties. I'm sure we don't have any monetary thing to gain from them. I'm not trying to beat them or hustle them. I just want them to have the best situation because that makes me happy. So specifically the Raz and Taj, that's very important to me. That was something I was trying to impart on them is these niggas don't love you. This is rap industry. You might get popular and then something go wrong. Niggas act like you fell off and treat you like shit. So don't take this shit for granted. And if you have a question, you got your mama, you got your auntie, your father, and your auntie on your father's side, who's a lawyer. Nigga, you need to be asking questions to us because we don't have an agenda for you. I don't get paid if you get paid. I want you to get paid. I'm going to give whatever I attain in this life to you. You know what I mean? Period. So understand that, I'm not Joe Jackson, nigga. I'm not trying to live my shit through y'all, my G. I'm my own nigga. You know what I mean? And I just want them to have a fair shot. And I'm grateful so far they've had a fair shot. And I'm excited for what they're working on the new album now. So, they've been telling me they got some shit for me. Like, yo, got some shit. I'm like, yeah, I got some shit for y'all too. Let's see. Let's see. So it's great. It's great that we have the same passion, and it's great to watch them execute and be getting the results. And you know, and again, one thing I stressed with them was, nigga, strength in numbers. So, you know, I expect them niggas to rock out, nigga, for the next 20 years. Like, bro, all that dolo and I'm going, nigga, stick with your squad, nigga. So that's something I always imparted in them. Y'all just now discovering them. I've been, you know, basically having these little niggas around since they were 17, you know, where they moved back here, were around me, you know, more. And that was the main thing that I imparted in them was stay with your team. Keep your team together, man. Don't let the bitch, you know, or the bitch nigga get in your ear and tell you about it. Oh, it's all about you. No, y'all did this shit together. Do that shit. Take it to the top together, my G. So I think I'm excited for him, man.
Man, Raz, I gotta ask you, man. You know, at this point, man, you know, you've kind of had all of it. You had the highs, the lows. What are your biggest moments, like when you look at your career? Because it's still ongoing, but when you look at your career in totality, what are the moments that you're the most proud of? And then what career advice would you give to yourself in 96 that you know now?
Oh, man. The whole journey, man, is just there's always, even in the bad times, there's learning experiences, and there was some funny shit and some learning. So I don't have any particular, you know, good times. I mean, the better times is when, you know, there's $100,000 in the bank. I can't wait to get there again. I like having $100,000 in the bank. It felt good. I want more than that. I want $1 million liquid in the bank. And you know, I my goal is to get my return on my investment. So, you know, I've invested in this culture, and you know, I'm gonna keep fighting for it. And the only advice I would have gave me is, you know, I was naive. I was trusting of people I probably shouldn't have trusted. All my journey changes. All I had to do was I signed when I was legally 18. I signed a contract, and without an attorney, I just signed it, trusting my friend. And my friend wasn't my friend, and that became the beginning of fights that took forever to resolve, and put me on a route of you know, having a harder career than was necessary. So yeah, it's unfortunate. I just, you know, every brother ain't a brother. I always think of Chuck D when I think about my past. Like, every brother ain't a brother. And I thought somebody was my brother, and he wasn't. Somebody who actually did not want the best for me and had deep-seated jealousy of me that I didn't know. I didn't know. I looked up to that person. But they would later tell me that that was it. Which, you know, I wasn't the first time I had been told that. I just didn't realize that people carried that kind of jealousy in their heart and still were around people and faking like they were friends. Because I'm not that kind of person, so I didn't know that. And that wouldn't be that wouldn't be the last time that somebody that I thought was a brother revealed that that they had a deep-seated jealousy towards me, and I you know, I didn't realize people were capable of that type of shit. I didn't, because I'm not. I guess it's just like when the Samoan kid pissed on my leg. I'm not that kind of nigga, so I don't understand how you do that. And so that, for me, my naivete has been my undoing, which is why I encourage my kids. Nigga, ask questions. I've been through some of this shit. You know what I'm saying? This ain't my first rodeo. But that's the advice. I would have just told me, like, bro, lawyer up. Can't trust nobody. Nobody. This is, you know what I'm saying? So that was it. There's, you know, there'd be some, I zigged when I should have zagged, or I told people the truth when I should have just shut the fuck up. I did a lot of that. I don't really have a filter. It's not alcohol. It's not a little man's complex. I just don't have a really good, I don't have a great tolerance for shit I don't like. So when I think shit is whack, I just keep it a buck. But that shit don't work well in corporate America. It works good in prison and it works good in the streets to keep it a buck. But keeping it a buck in corporate America will get you hammered out.
Yeah.
Blackballed, canceled, all that. So that's how I failed, because I didn't know. And that was advice I got from my mother. You know, am I mad at my mother? No, but she gave me bad advice. You should be true that you don't say, you know, I'm like, that shit. And then I look back, like, she worked for the city of Los Angeles and they retired her early. And I should have realized that shit ain't working for you. Why the fuck should I take that advice? So that was my fault. I took her advice, whereas, you know, I probably should have found somebody that knew the nuances of my business, and which would have been more. And then I went to war for people who would eventually betray me. You know what I'm saying? Even within our company, with that Capital and Priority Record. So what I realize now is I won't put myself out on a limb for other people, because they won't do it for me. Most of them won't, and I can't afford it anymore. I'm not as resilient. So those were my takeaways. I just learned that I got to take care of me and get me okay first before I can really help the rest of these, you know, these dudes. Because if the shoe's on the other foot, they'll step on my head to get to the next step.
Raz, you know, you free from the onslaught of the industry and the capitalistic system of record labels. You know, how can people follow what you've got going on? How can they purchase your music, purchase merchandise? Like, how can they get in touch with what you got going on?
Yeah, my Bandcamp is where we offer most things. So I always encourage people to go to Bandcamp. That's bandcamp.com/Ras Kass. And then my Instagram is at RAS_KASS.
Raz, what words would you give to hip hop fans? Like I said, now at this point, on the eve of the 50th anniversary, what parting words would you give to niggas?
Oh man, my parting words would be, we gotta do better, man. We gotta do better. We should know better, and I hope we do better. I hope as a collective, as a people, 50th year, this stuff, we probably should be looking into, having some type of a union. And we should probably stop supporting, I don't know. I don't believe in royalty like that. So like, whoever's royal out here, if the royalty ain't really helping the people, then really, I'm down with revolution, like chopping their heads off. I'm not trying to say hurt the superstars, but if niggas is still trying to tell you how much shit they got and what you don't got, why you keep buying and fucking with them?
Ding, 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 ding.
Like, they don't need no more. Like, stop giving them shit if they don't give a fuck about you. Why do you keep giving them more of your shit that you ain't got but nothing?